Hey Chariot Racers, this is TC, your guiding chariot. You can see my face today. It's going to be a little different video today. I have just been feeling weird things. This week has been a little weird. And maybe partly for myself, I'm just going to talk about it. Hopefully you guys get something out of it. So we're kind of just having a little story time. We may pull some cards at the end. We may talk about some crystals. We may talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We're definitely talking about this full moon we just had. It certainly has brought up a lot of things for me. I'm thinking it's probably brought up a lot of things for you. I know especially when I post on Instagram, I'll get comments, oh my God, no wonder why this is crazy, or no wonder why this happened today. So I just think this moon might be a little special and it deserves to be talked about. All right. Wanted to take some time talk about this full moon in Leo we just had yesterday. Oh girl, it was crazy for me. It was crazy. So just a little bit about this moon. I am not some master astrologer, so this is real simplified, but we all know full moon is when the sun and moon is in opposition. So sun's over there in Aquarius, moon is over in Leo. What's special about this moon is all the aspects that are going on. So yes, moon is in Leo, which makes us want to express and show off and be proud, and all those wonderful Leo qualities we all get a little dose of in this moon. We need to be authentic, and we need to shine in our own way, whatever that means. Having that opposite the moon, right, because this is a full moon, it's almost kind of how do me and my authentic version fit in with society, with my friends, with my family, at work, whatever your surroundings are. Just how do you fit in the rest of the world? And when I say fit in, I mean, you and your most authentic expression. It's not, here's the box society wants me to fit in. How do I fit it? This is you realizing, but I'm a round peg. That square box isn't for me. Like, how do I get my round peg self in the picture that is this world and the planet? You also have the sun in conjunction with Jupiter, which is fabulous. Jupiter always wants to give us gifts and give us luck. So that brings a little bit of luck when it comes to finding this way that you fit in. We also have a crazy T-square. So if you can picture a T-square, so you have the sun over here, the moon over here in an opposition. And then a T-square it's a regular square. It's a 90-degree angle. So we have this opposition, and then the 90-degree angle that makes a T. I should have done it the other way, then it would actually look like a T to you, but you know what I mean. Essentially, we have an opposition, and then a square making 90-degree. So there we have our T, right? You can see those. Anyway, so this T-square is being made with Mars and Uranus, which are still in conjunction. They went in conjunction a couple days ago. So that brings a little bit of struggle, right? So we have this want and desire to express and fit in, but then we don't really know how that happens. Although we have this full moon, which is helping to show us where, maybe where we are being less than authentic, where we can do better expressing ourselves or find new ways to express ourselves. This T-square is making that a little harder, or it feels kind of tight. We feel almost like we're being held in our little square box, even though we don't fit. Now, although that's a challenge, right? Whenever you get a square in astrology, it's a challenge. The kind of blessing in this is that since it's in a square with Mars and Uranus in conjunction, Mars, ruler of Aries, so it's just that it's giving you that courage and that boldness to just do it. Uranus, all about the unexpected, right? So it's almost like these two planets are kind of giving you that push. Be like, you want to fit in better, you want to express yourself, you want to be authentic, you don't really see a way how, just do it. Like, just do it. It's kind of giving you the courage to just go, right? There's also now I'm trying to remember. See, this is why I should write things down and have notes. There's also a conjunction with Venus and Pluto, which from what I've seen, some astrologers kind of get freaked out with this particular aspect, or not aspect, but with this particular conjunction, which I get, because you think of Pluto, although it governs many things, one of the things it governs is life and death. and now you're putting it in conjunction with Venus, which is all about beauty and attraction. So it is possible that we can start to drift towards or be attracted to something that could be potentially dangerous or not right for us, right? So I get where that comes from, but in another way, it also can bring about this rebirth, finding a new way to live, finding a new expression, finding a new life, right? Finding a new way to create beauty and abundance. Which are beautiful things, and especially considering what's happening at this full moon, this push to be expressive and authentic, I kind of go with the latter. But again, it's all energy. It depends on your free will and what choices you make and all that wonderful stuff. But that's a little bit about this moon. And since it's a full moon, especially those who are sensitive to moon cycles, my fellow water signs out there, people with strong water placements, this definitely could have brought up a lot of deep emotions, especially along with rejection. That's a hard thing when this moon is in Leo, right? Because although Leos are prideful and boastful, they also govern the heart. So when they get a wound, it goes straight to their heart center. So rejection is a very hard thing to think about or to take possibly with this moon. It's something that definitely has been weighing a little heavier on me this week, and I haven't, before I say that this isn't some big sob story, like I haven't, been turned down from anything or felt left out of anything, but it's that, those voices start talking and you start digging yourself in that hole, and Lord knows I've spent a lot of time this week sitting in that hole. So, it's a thing. It's a real thing. Side note, how do you love my little soul cat cup? Isn't he the cutest? He's adorable. So with all of that coming up in this moon, so feeling, trying to figure out how you can be authentic, figuring out where you fit in, how you best fit in. For some of you out there may be relationships that are starting to fall away, which will make room for newer ones, but, that might be stressful as well. Again, rejection, even if you're someone who doesn't really get bothered by that or isn't really fazed by that, this moon might just make you a little more emotionally sensitive to that and make that a little scarier than it would normally. So it's a very interesting moon we're kind of up against, but a great moon because, again, it will help us to get out and express ourselves and be more authentic and live a life that is a little more fulfilling and rewarding and true to us. With that being said, I thought I'd also take this opportunity to kind of do a little about me. Not that I enjoy talking about myself, but we've never really done it. Like all my videos are just readings, and we don't really get to talk like this. My roommate was joking that he kept calling this Chariot Chats. So I don't know if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and maybe we'll do this on a regular basis if you enjoy it. But a little bit about me. So born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii. Love it here. This is my home. It's amazing. It's not a dating profile, so I'm not going to go through my whole personal history, but me as a reader, for sure, I started with cards. I mean, for me, pretty early. Like, I got my first deck when I was in the 7th grade, so I was in middle school. I wouldn't say I knew anything about it. I wasn't proficient at it. Like, it was just something I was kind of drawn to. I thought they were really cool. And there was a metaphysics shop here called Sedona. Absolutely love. Still shop there. If you live in Hawaii and you haven't checked it out, please do. It's amazing. I love them. But I used to get a lot of my crystals, and my Chinese zodiac is dragon, and so I'm all obsessed with dragons. So I used to get these super cool dragon sculptures. I have one on the table. There it is. Like this little guy. He's a little cutie. He's a little dusty sitting by the window now, but he's adorbs. We like him. But that was where I got my first deck, and it was, of course, the Dragon Tarot. Had to do it. So this actually was the deck. So this isn't my first deck. It's the same deck, but the one I actually got is probably hiding in a drawer at my childhood home, right, now that I live out on my own as an adult. But this was the Dragon Tarot deck. This is the second one I got from when I was working at Sedona as a reader. So I got this deck when I was in the 7th grade. I think we might do maybe we'll pull a card from that deck before we finish this. But when I was in the 7th grade, I pulled that, and it was something that I was still kind of a little embarrassed about. Like I was, I never really talked about anything, intuitive or mystical or witchcrafty before that point, especially with anyone, like family, friends, nobody. So, it was kind of just a personal thing. And probably at first I'd probably just had them and looked at them because I thought they were pretty and they were cool and it felt magical. I think that was the same era, like, if we have any anime fans out there, like when Card Captors was on, so I totally felt like they were my own deck of cloud cards. It was a real thing. And then I just started doing like little readings for myself, which was cool. I eventually brought them to school one day and like told like my tight circle of friends. And that actually got a cool response. It was, I was a little nervous because I went to a Christian school from kindergarten to 12th grade to graduation. So, Christian school and tarot cards, not the easiest combination sometimes. Also, also coming from a gay boy, so all the things happening. But it worked out, it was cool. I remember like sometimes after school, like it was like me and like two of my buddies, we would like be hanging out after class, and if I had my cards, we would like just kind of pull, like do little mini 3-card spreads, and I'd try to interpret them and put them together, which was kind of fun, but that's kind of where it started. I'm completely self-taught. There was a gap in time where then I kind of put the cards on the side, and then you get busy with other things, and you're growing adult, figuring things out. It probably wasn't until, God, I don't know, maybe 2000. God, I don't even know. Like after 2010 for sure that I kind of just felt that call again, and I was like, you know what, I'm actually going to learn them this time. Like I won't just be playing with them and really study it and get better. So I got a whole new deck, started again, started with doing daily pulls. One of the craziest things I've ever had, I remember I would do a 3-card spread every morning, and partly to, I'd get a little communication from spirit, I'd get a little, what's my day going to look like, but it was also a way for me to learn, and then I could, think about what the cards meant as I went through the day and as I like lived through different things, and be like, oh yeah, this is totally 4 of Swords, like I totally need to back up from this. Like, so I would have moments like that. I remember there was one day I had pulled my spread. It was the worst day ever. Worst day ever. Like I want to say the Tower was in there. I want to say the 9 of Swords was in there, and I can't remember the third one. But I remember it was awful. Like it was really bad. Like it was to the point I remember turning to my boyfriend at the time, and I was like, I think I'm gonna call out today. Like this is gonna be an awful day. I'm gonna just hide at home. Like I don't know what is happening. I was like, no, at least now I know, I'm prepared, I can make, wiser choices with this information. I was like, no, we're going to work. I actually had the greatest day. It was super great, it was fun. And I told myself, I just had this like thought in my head that maybe this was for someone else. Like maybe these aren't my cards, but these are just the cards I needed to see. And when I was getting ready for work, I actually thought of a friend of mine who lives on another island, so they're not even, she wasn't even here. And I remember her just popping into my head. Nothing crazy, but I just remember thinking of her. I went to work, was totally braced for this awful day, and it was going great. I was making great sales. I had all the cool people working with me, so we were having fun. And I remember telling myself, if I get to lunch and nothing cray has happened, I'm gonna start messaging people. Like just to be like, hey, how's your day going? So get to lunch, having a great fun day. So I messaged this friend I thought about, and I just sent a text and be like, hey girl, what's up? Like, I just thought of you this morning, how's it going? I texted a few other people just for, you never know. I wanted to cast a wide net. So I go back on the floor, or maybe it was before I finished lunch. My friend that I thought of texted me back and was like, hey, I'm on Oahu today. Like, what are you doing? Let's get together. I was like, oh my God, I'm at work right now, but I'm done at, I probably was done at like 5 o'clock or something. And I was like, but I'm completely free after. So she was like, you know what? I'll come pick you up from work. We'll just hang out. We'll do stuff. And I'm like, great, let's do this. so she picked me up. We were in her car. We were driving around, and I started telling her I hadn't seen her for a while. Like, we'll talk, but I haven't like face to face seen her for a couple months probably by that point. And I started telling her, so I started doing this daily read, and it's been going really well, but today's was so weird. Like, I got the worst cards you could ever think of, but today was great. And look, and then you are here, and we're hanging out today. Sorry, kitty hair. So I was just telling her it was weird. And so she on some level that must have piqued her interest. So she was like, well, what did the card? Well, like, what cards did you get? So I was telling her. I remember what started our conversation was when I got to the Nine of Swords, and I was telling her, like, it's the nightmare card. Like, I didn't even have nightmares, but it's it's a lot of worry and anxiety and fear and all this kind of stuff. And that was when she kind of like, I have to tell you something. So she was on the island because her father had like an accident, was at the hospital. They were afraid, he had hurt his back. He like fell off a wall. It was kind of everyone was kind of worried. She didn't tell me that until that point, and I was like, oh my God, these were your cards. Like, that was the craziest thing for me. And that I would say is probably the moment where I really fell in love with the art of tarot and what tarot can do. But for me, the most part, or the thing that I really loved, especially in that moment, was that it was a tool that could deliver insight or information, offer some type of communication to things that maybe we don't see with our earthly eyes at any particular moment. But it gives us some understanding on a level where we can offer guidance and help comfort or help heal. And as a Cancer, that's something that's super important to me. Like, if I do one thing right in this life, it'll be that I supported those who are special and important to me in any way that I possibly can. So that's what I love about tarot, is really that extra level of knowledge to help us make wiser decisions and to guide when possible. But that's really where I truly fell in love with it, where I was like, you know what, this may be something I really want to start pursuing. It was a couple, years after that where I actually started this channel and tried to reach more people, a bigger audience, tried things in different ways. It's still kind of evolving how I read, and it's been a journey, and I gotta say I'm so thankful, and I appreciate all of you that subscribe and watch my videos and like and make comments. I super love when you guys send comments. I try to respond to everyone. If I don't make it to yours, I'm so sorry. I'll try better, but I love. It's when we can start communicating, dialoguing. So if this happens to create an opportunity like that, even more so, we can connect on so many other things. Last year when we were in quarantine, I became this huge, my roommate calls me a plant gay now, if that's a thing, I don't know. But yeah, I was like, since we can't go out, I like full on, my bestie and I would go to Home Depot or Lowe's, almost anywhere, and we would like pick up these new plants. So I have this whole like garden balcony thing going on. I have all these golden pothos all over the living room and the bathroom. Fun fact, I found out my dad loved pothos. Like, he had a bunch of pothos in his house too. I lost my dad when I was really, really young. I was 3 years old, so I don't know much about him. So when I find out little quirks and things like that we have in common, it always kind of like a little tickle. And if you're on my Instagram, I don't think I posted on the Guiding Chariot. If you're on my personal Instagram, which is Hot Cup of TC, I've been posting about my friend Kalo Sam, he's actually on the floor. He's next to me right now. I've always wanted to like grow my own kalo. I don't know why that seems. I mean, I'm Hawaiian. Maybe that's the only reason. But something about it just fascinates me. And I had a good friend of mine. His mom actually gave me a keiki, a little baby kalo, from her own. So I have that guy. He's doing amazingly well. We love Kalo Sam. So if you want to see the adventures of Kalo Sam, maybe we'll make that a thing on my Instagram. But yeah, it's been a wild ride, me as a reader. And then this week, a lot has just kind of come up that felt really heavy. I talked about those feelings of rejection and not feeling like you've done enough, or things weren't good enough, all that. It's felt really, really heavy. I feel like I've been sleeping a lot this week. It's just, granted, it was also like kind of cold and rainy here, which is not common, but it happens, and I love it. I love a nice gray, rainy day. So I've been cuddled up in the blankets with the two kitties. They're both sleeping in the bed right over here as we speak. They're probably like, "Dad, shut up. Dad, we're trying to take a nap." But yeah, so it's been a real low week. Outside of, and then externally, like, I've had chances to go hang with my friends, so it's been a good week. But definitely when I had my own me time or quiet time, it definitely was very low. Those little voices start creeping in again. I didn't think I was going to talk about this, but I guess now it's coming up, so should have put some vodka in here instead of tea. Last night was the full moon. I had a really low moment. Like, I ended up going out and sitting on the balcony under the full moon and just kind of, I know I was ugly crying. Thank God it was dark. I full on know I was ugly crying. And it just, things got so heavy. Like, things got heavy, and nothing bad happened. I didn't receive any bad news. Which is that, like, that's when I know that I'm feeling a little more sensitive than normal, because like nothing happened. It wasn't cray, just the thoughts got a little heavy. Thought of one thing too many, and the dam just broke, and it felt so. I don't know. I think I think when I was sitting out there and having my little meltdown, like, it just felt. I'm trying to think of the right words to put it in. If I could try to describe it, it felt, for multiple reasons, right? For multiple reasons, that I felt like I had been, like, cherry picked to be left out, right? Like, I was the only one that didn't get to ride on the success bus, or the relationship bus, or just the attractive bus. And when I say attractive, it's just attracting things, right? So manifesting. Like, it felt, for some reason, I was being told to wait yet again. Like, for some reason, I couldn't get on the bus yet, and for no reason. And it was a mix of things. A big part of it that felt really heavy was dating life stuff, which is so not what you want to hear, but it definitely felt really lonely, and just, again, rejection. So it just felt like this weird pushback from the powers that be, or the universe, that, you're doing what you need to do, you're on the right path, but not yet. And I know I told you not yet last time, and the time before that, and the time for that, but it's still not yet. And it just, it for some reason last night, it just felt really funky. Like, especially when you think about what this moon is talking about, right? Finding your own expression, and being yourself, and being unique, and being seen for those things. And last night, I literally had the hardest time kind of accepting or appreciating the ways that I am seen, right? Or, wanting more, but thinking more was just going to happen, right? Without putting anything out there to be seen, right? They can't see it if it's not there. So it was a weird moment. Lots of tears, lots of just, lots of ugly tears. But I think part of that, and part of, talking afterwards, and sorting it all out, and listening to the people I love, I think that's a big proponent of why this video is happening, because I'm sure I wasn't the only person who felt, maybe not that exact storyline, but felt feelings of that, or that was on their mind this week, or maybe not, maybe even before, right? It may be a constant battle. So part of the reason I put this out was, one, to educate about the moon, because we love that here. We love talking crystals and magic and planets, and it's all fun stuff. But also, that these emotions that come up, whether they be triggered by the moon or not, do serve a purpose. They offer an opportunity to grow if we can process them and truly look at them and observe them, right? That's what we talk about a lot of times when we get, or at least I do. I know, I'm sure other readers do too. It's not unique to me, but I tend to always think that, especially with certain tarot cards, but like the Queen of Swords, prime example, she can be super cold, right? Both the King and Queen of Swords can be cold, but they don't necessarily have to be. The key with her as a queen is about being the observer, right? And removing the emotional attachment to things or situations or even people sometimes, and really looking at it with that filter gone so you can see it for what it is. And does this serve me? Is this good for me? Is this healthy? Is this helping me get me to where I want to be? Or am I just attached to it because it's familiar and comfortable? Or I want it to be the thing, so I'm telling myself it's the thing, but now that I remove that, is it really the thing? Are they really the person? So it's a great energy to use. It's maybe not the most intuitive for some of us, especially if we're not air signs. Air signs can probably do that in their sleep. It's harder for them to turn it off, probably, if I'm honest. But my hope is that kind of talking about this in this format, you can kind of see how even the hard moments, even the rough stuff, there can be good in it. There is a reason why, right? No matter how heavy things get, no matter how frustrating they can be, Lord knows I've ridden that train too. There is a reason. There's something that can be gained from that moment if we really can slow down. And one of the best things you can do is to, if emotions come up, feel them, let them come up and let them pass through you. So if that means you need to go sit on your balcony in the middle of the night and ugly cry by yourself, do it, even if your roommate can hear you and has to check on you. It's a thing. Let it happen, right? There's a great saying, you have to feel it to heal it. True. So when these feelings come up, experience them, feel them. If you have to sit with them for a minute, let them pass, right? So that you can kind of get all the butterflies out. And then what you're left with then is the clarity to really look at all these things and analyze it and see how you feel about it. Why am I getting so upset? What can I do differently that would make me feel better, right? And if you don't know, because sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's like, well, this is new. I have no idea. I just know I feel like this, and I'd like to feel like this. Okay, great. Well, what makes me feel like this? Even if it's completely unrelated. If what makes you feel better is having a slice of cake, go get yourself a cake. I don't care what it is, but do that thing. One thing that I'm learning to accept, because I got a corona belly I need to work off right now. But one thing I have found, moving your body is so great. I have a friend who teaches a yoga class that I go to, and I absolutely love it. If anyone's in Hawaii wants a bomb aerial yoga class, Saturdays at Power Yoga with my friend Leanne. Shout out to her. Check us out. It's a great class. You can even see me there. We'll be all bendy and flexible together. But I cannot miss that class. I cannot miss that class. Having that hour to move my body, and yes, we're working out, we're exercising, but I know Leanne will talk a lot about that. Our body holds stress, right? That's what our cells do. So whether it's physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress, your body will find a place to hold that if you don't process it, if you don't let it out. And that happens to all of us. It's completely normal. It's not a bad thing. It happens. It happens. Moving your body, whether it's yoga, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's just walking out in nature, go swim in the ocean, it's just moving. Put on your favorite tunes and dance. Just moving helps to get that kind of juju flowing, whether it's, activating something, right? Let's say if we had our root chakra was a little weak and we were feeling kind of down on ourselves and we didn't feel super confident, that helps to kind of kick up that energy, right? Depending what you do. And conversely, if we've got too much stress held in a body, moving just helps shake it out, right? So it can go both ways. So I literally will not allow myself to miss that class because I totally know what I feel like before it. and what I feel like after it. And especially this week, I will not miss it because of what happened yesterday. I got a lot of butterflies to shake out this week. But yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. Since we're here and we like talking about cards, let's pull some cards from my little Dragon Tarot. I don't think I've used this deck in a very long time, so it'll be interesting. No, we're not taking that. That was just me being clumsy. Oh, it's so weird. I'm so used to you guys looking at my hands that I probably make the weirdest faces while I'm shuffling, and now I'm like, oh, now this is what you have to look at. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, we got some jumpers. First one out. 8 of coins. First guy out. Knight of Swords and Queen of Swords in reverse. I feel like I want at least one more. Bottom of the deck right now is the Fool. Love that. So fresh new start, new cycle. We just closed out a lunar cycle, right? We just had that full moon. There we go. Yep. Oh, Spirit, I love you. That feels great. We'll also have the Queen of Coins. So lots of queenly energy here, right? Because we've got that Queen of Swords. We now have the Queen of Cups. So this Eight of Pentacles, this is confirmation for all of you who felt like you're not doing enough, you're not doing the right thing. Should I even bother, right? Should I bother doing this or going after this person or applying for that job, doing this thing? This is your confirmation to do it, right? This is the confirmation you're on the right path, right? Eight of Pentacles is all about dedication, putting in the work, honing your skills, honing your craft. So yes, whatever it is you're doing, whatever you're trying to manifest, make happen, whatever you're tackling right now, continue to do it. It's the right thing for you to be doing. It's a great skill for you to use. It's probably something you're already, I don't want to say a natural at it, but like you already have some talent in it. It's something you are passionate about, and it can be something that brings you a lot of money, right? Because we have this Queen of Coins at the end. I will say I do think this particular card, not directly speaking to money, but it's more about the confidence and the grounding and the security that you create for yourself with this card. You know, because with these two cards in reverse, the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords, this energy can be chaotic and incredibly sharp. And I mean sharp in the sense where we're swinging that sword almost kind of blindly and recklessly. That's a much better word, actually. Swinging it recklessly. And it's not a question of, you know, chop and ask questions later. We're like chopping and not asking questions at all. Like we're so frustrated and mentally wound up and feeling out of sorts and feeling very lost and confused and maybe even angry with this frustration that we're just kind of swinging the sword for the sake of swinging the sword. Like I just need to stab something. So I'm just doing this. I don't care what I cut, or, you know, I just need to cut something. You know, it's that kind of vibe. Not super healthy, not super productive, not going to help us get anywhere either. So this is really an energy of sorting it out. And I will say, having the Knight and the Queen show up, there is, you know, in a way there is necessary growth here, right? So we came in as a confused Knight, we were exiting as, you know, possibly a confused Queen, right? So there was some growth, there was some maturing there if you think about it. It went from a space that was not so much seeking and questing and wanting to learn and wanting to know more and seeking communication and maybe even some clarity in a way, to someone who definitely had a lot more I want to say control, but, you know, they came in reverse, so we're not really controlling, right? We're being a little reckless, but had a better sense of what was going on, had a better sense of what was right for you, right, as the Queen, right? Super nurturing. So on personal needs, this just wanted more information. I want to understand more. Why can't I get more? Why can't this happen? Why isn't this happening, right? If it's related to whatever this Eight of Pentacles is, you know, then we get to this Queen. I hope, yeah, okay. I was like, for all I know, I had the Queen in front, but then we go from the Knight to this Queen. So then we have a better picture of what it is we want right? We know where we want to go. We know what we want to, where we would define success, right? We know what we want to achieve, but we're still kind of frustrated and in our head and overthinking everything, and maybe overly worried about it. And remember, bottom of the deck when these 3 cards came up was the Fool. So we are creating some type of new opportunity for us. We are starting a new cycle. We are going down a new path, creating a brand new opportunity. But again, this is the energy where we want to get to, where we feel safe and grounded and protected. And this is what we're heading to, right? But it's going to take the dedication and the discipline and the focus to really put in the effort, right? Put in the effort. You want to manifest something different, you're going to have to do something different. It's kind of encouraging to me, because that's kind of what this video was for me. As much as I want it to inspire and comfort and counsel you guys on any way, so I hope it does that. I honestly do. But it's a little bit of a release for me also. So seeing it in the cards is great, and if you relate to it, know that you're not the only one. I'm personally right there with you. Hopefully you guys will sound off in the comments, and you'll literally know how many people are going through a similar struggle, similar battle, similar challenge, test, whatever you want to call it. I'm just curious now. I want to see what the bottom of the deck is. Oh, bottom of the deck, 10 of coins. Yes. Remember when I said I was talking about possibly making money? So if this is a business or just any endeavor that may possibly have some type of financial gain. I mean, yes, it is. What's in there? Page of coins, new. Oh, can't even see it. I'm over here flinging all the page of coins underneath that. So definitely new. Death card, full rebirth. Maybe dealing with a Scorpio for some of you, but rebirth. I love that. I love that, and I love you guys as well. I think I'm going to wrap this up here. As always, I really love and appreciate each and every single one of you. You guys are amazing. I can't say it enough. I literally can't say it enough. So if you like this video, again, give it a thumbs up. Honestly, really let me know if you kind of dug this video. Leave it in the comments. If you like it, we can totally do more. We can talk about crystals. We can talk about my plants. Lord knows I could go on about them for a very long time. With that said, I guess I will see you next time. Like I said, after I have some things going on this weekend, but after that, I am going to start the February readings, so you can expect those to come up next week sometime. I'll most likely start Monday, so as the week rolls on, you will see all those videos pop up. So excited for those with this new cycle we're all beginning. So stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed and have the notification bell for all of those. But I love you guys. Take care. Be gentle to yourself, especially if you're feeling all these feels. I'm right there with you in one way or another. I don't know why. I'm going to show you my little dragon head. We're wishing you the best over here. So I love you guys. Take care. I will see you in your next videos. Bye.